all right, how much to quit your job? He's like, realistically, if someone was to show me $1,000, I'd do it. I'm like, all right, man, let's go to the bank. Go to the bank, withdraw $1,000. He quits his job, texts his boss, texts his mom, quits his job, and then he goes and gets the Switch the next day.
In his first trade, bro, he makes $1,500. He's like, holy cow, like this is real.
I just ran up this X amount of money in this amount of time, bro. I'm about to go to Florida, bro. I'm about to go to Miami, bro. It's wrapped, so it's over, and then boom, straight back to zero. You know?
That too, bro. We have had around like 3,000 signups for the Goldmine, and I think only around, like we said, like 50 people have gotten in. We're very strict on who gets this because we know what we have, and we want to keep it, still preserved.
All right. 3, 2, 1, start, bro. All right, boys. Today we got these young entrepreneurs absolutely killing it in the trading space. My boy Jackson and Brock here. I don't know if y'all want to introduce yourself. Give me your age and where you're from.
Bro, my name is Jblair. I'm from Flagstaff, Arizona, and I'm 19 years old.
Yeah, my name is Brock. I'm from Arizona as well. Grew up around 2.5 hours away from him, more in the Phoenix area. Yeah, I'm 19 as well.
Y'all are doing things that I have not seen anybody in the space doing, bro. Like, I swear, it's actually crazy. I was just talking with these boys. They were talking about how, like, bro, this is going to be taking over for you pages. Give it, like, a few months, but you guys are going to be seeing this, like, everywhere. Everywhere you look, you're just going to be seeing Goldmine, hashtag Goldmine, bangers every night, bro. That's all we do, bro. Just hit Goldmine bangers. Let's go ahead and get into maybe some struggles y'all had kind of coming up on this journey. I mean, I know a lot of people can relate to kind of, being down in the dumps before they really, hit it big.
Yeah, for sure. So I started trading around January of 2025, right when I turned 18 years old. I didn't have any money to go and get a course or a mentorship or anything like that. I was working at a 9 to 5. I was like reselling AirPods and stuff, like trying to make money. I honestly just went with the method of trial and error with learning how to trade. So for a very long time, I was just blowing fundeds, blowing evals, trying to get a payout. And it wasn't until I met Brock, actually, when he paid me to quit my job. And then coincidentally, because I hadn't went to work this one day, I ended up going to Phoenix, which was around like 2.5 hours away from my hometown. And I went to this little business meetup type thing. And I met this dude who day trades, and he kind of gave me some sauce. I ended up, changing and making my own variation, adding an AI indicator that I built myself onto it and a algorithm with that. And it's only been up from there. I've gotten my first payout in August of 2025 and then touched around my first 10K in October of 2025. And it's only been up from there.
It's been a long journey, bro. I feel like I'm kind of getting to that veteran status or level in this like online money space. Been in this game for about 2 years now. Around a year ago, I quit my job, or 2 years ago, I quit my job with $700 to my name. I did e-com and drop shipping. Like my sophomore year of high school, I actually made like 15 G's, 20 G's doing it. I made a decent amount of money, but I let the discouragement from others and the not a lot of belief from others kind of get to my head. And I ended up like quitting after like 6 months. And I stopped drop shipping when I was a sophomore in high school. But in my senior year of high school, I was like sitting there, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to trade school. I'm not going to college. I got to make something work. So I'm going to go back in the online business, and I started doing organic drop shipping like right when I quit my job. And I did that for like around 6 months. And I low-key honestly like killed it for like 3 to 6 months. And then like one of my winning products was a political product. And I actually had a lot of stuff with the election go down, and it honestly really cooked me. And I ended up losing a lot of money. During this time, I'm going through different business partners to help me scale this drop shipping store that I had at the time. And I ended up getting scammed for one of them out of $6,000, and then another guy that was solid, but he honestly just was cutting me short out a lot of cash and to pay me. I was paying him for services. He was kind of rinsing me. And then throughout drop shipping, I started moving to like more like brands, like actual brands, like wellness brands, health brands, supplement brands. I had a custom Netflix company that was this custom like couples blanket that absolutely ripped. And then I also had a Spotify blanket that if you scan the QR code, it would automatically start playing a song. And I was running ads for them across multiple platforms. I was making content for them. We started selling it on websites. I did Facebook funnels, Snapchat funnels, TikTok funnels, everything like that across all these ad platforms. And I'm not doing that on myself. I was doing that with business partners. And I had multiple business partners, some great ones, some bad ones. And just for like a year and a half, I was doing that. And then I eventually went into like the supplement and health world. And that was amazing. And then I found this really good brand that I really liked, really cool owner, really good situation. And that's my hydration company that Jblair and I are constantly drinking, him exotic. And that's, I was in that with this brand for like, 4 to 6 months. I still have equity in the company as well. And that's when I found Jblair. Literally, I was back in Arizona for like a month. I was in Oklahoma for like a month prior to this, and I threw up a post on TikTok. I'm like, yo, I need someone that's really good at content that can help me get just like the 20, 30K a month range. This dude hits me up, and I'm like, he's like, yo, I'm in Flagstaff. I'm like, bro, I'm in Flagstaff right now. I'm like, bet, let's meet up. So I meet up, bro. Literally, like, it was one of those situations. Felt like I knew the dude for years of my life. Felt like a brother. I'm like, he's telling me how he's like a trader. He likes trading and all. I'm like, okay. And then like he's also pretty good with content, like really good with content. And I'm like, dude, like, all right, how much to quit your job? He's like, realistically, if someone was to show me $1,000, I'd do it. I'm like, all right, bet, let's go to the bank. Go to the bank, withdraw $1,000. He quits his job, texts his boss, texts his mom, quits his job, and then he goes and gets the switch the next day. And then we go and move to Oklahoma for like a month and a half, a month.
Yeah.
And it was a chill time. We just had some stuff go down. Honestly, went through a lot in a short period of time. I lost my aunt. And that's the person I actually lived with my entire entrepreneurship journey, bro. I lived with my aunt and I lost her. That sucked. Following day, I had a lot of stuff happen. And he's like, bro, there's one night we were sitting out there in Oklahoma the day before he moved. He's like, let's just book a one-way out to Hawaii, bro. I'm like, bet. And he's like, we're going to rely on trading, bro. I know this is like a huge jump. But then, like, all right, the strategy actually works. I got to pay it off of it in a month. Stuff rips. What if we were to build a brand in it? What if we were to make this a brand of just killers and individuals that want this stuff so bad? They got that mindset. It's an amazing community of just amazing men that are all got their own skills in certain points. So I took all my 2 years of failures and trials and tribulations and building brands and put it into something called the Switch, which is now, the first brand we built. And then we got another one, the Goldmine.
Yes, sir, bro.
Works
Yes,
as well.
sir.
So yeah.
Like, bro, 600-point move. That one that was like, when was that? Like,
Bro, it was not this last Sunday, but the one before.
these dudes caught a 600-point trade, bro.
Bro, that is probably my biggest point-wise trade I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah, to any of you who are new to trading and looking to get into the trading space, at 1 point usually is like you make a certain amount per point. So like, yeah, dude, these dudes were banging trades left and right this week. You guys got to check these dudes out on YouTube. I think it's you guys' Instagram, right?
It's Jblair on YouTube.
Brock Moody 1 on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys got to go check them out, bro. These guys are absolutely killing it. How has it felt coming from, like you guys said, like that kind of dark space? Not essentially down bad, but like just down in the dumps, man. You guys had stuff going on. How does it feel coming from that to where you guys are now?
I mean, it's just honestly a part of the journey. I would say that this is what I honestly expected from the beginning. I don't think anyone thinks it's going to be easy in any way, shape, or form. So, it was kind of just something that we both signed up for. It was very difficult at some times. I'd say that there's been a lot of personal events that kind of happen behind the scenes that nobody sees. Like Brock talking about with his aunt. I actually got cheated on by my ex-girlfriend too. So, it's just like stuff like this that happens behind the scenes that just like kind of weighs on your mental. But other than that, bro, this is everything I've ever asked for, everything I've ever prayed for. And I'm honestly living my dreams, bro. These are the struggles that like I prayed for, and this pressure that I've always wanted this.
So when you're in the dumps, I genuinely believe that's one of the best places to be, because that's where the most progress is ever done. That's where you learn the most about yourself. That's where you figure out what your weak points are. That's where you figure out your strong points. For like a whole year, it was just fail, success for me. Living, just my parents, my aunt, just failing, succeeding, thinking I had it. I'm like, oh, bro, I just ran up this X amount of money in this amount of time, bro. I'm about to go to Florida, bro. I'm about to go to Miami, bro. It's wrapped, so it's over. And then boom, straight back to zero, And it's not fun. It's really dark. It sucks. And I think this is something that lots of entrepreneurs go through. 99.9% of them, where it's just like a whole year at least, like 12 months of just low key darkness. I had one person at the time that got me through it. Amazing person. Don't have them any longer in my life. But it was mainly just me. And all it was just isolation, delusion, and obsession, where you just know that you're gonna make it. You know that there's light at the end of the tunnel once you get out of there. And if you're constantly in this state of hunger, and if you're willing to be alone, and you're willing to sit through the fire, no matter what is thrown at you, no matter how lonely it is, no matter how much mental pressure it is, no matter how many distractions there is, no matter how many people are telling you, bro, just get a job, bro. Bro, just you don't want to stress, bro. It's gonna be really hard for this to work out, bro. No matter how much people are telling you that you're just zoned in, you see that vision, you see the light at the tunnel, you see the life that you can only see, that reality that you can only see, and you keep going, no matter what is thrown at you. That's one of the best places to be in. I truly do believe, and I would do anything to go back to that. And in full transparency, I moved out here to Hawaii at around 50 something G's to my name. Like in all my, I think it was like 56K, to be honest, when I moved out here to Hawaii. So I kind of got out of that part. For a very long time, it was like that. We moved out here. I went back into the dumps kind of. I was like, okay, I'm literally dropping all my business, like what I was doing for the last year and a half of my life. I'm just trusting in this dude who I literally just met that we're gonna pull it off a trading. And, I want to say it's dumps, but that's a high pressure time. That's a chaotic time. And those are the points that just really define you. And those are also the turning points. That was the biggest turning point of my entire last 2 years of my life, and those turning points are huge, 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 huge. And it depends on how you act in those. So, yeah.
You guys are always preaching God, and always like just constantly, reminding the community about just being grateful for where you're at and all that stuff. Has your guys' relationship with God changed since this, or you've always just been like that close to God?
To be completely honest, bro, in high school, I was kind of being a little degenerate. I wasn't making really the best decisions that I could have been. And in April, I actually had my appendix rupture. I was like really sick for 2 weeks, and I was just like throwing up, and it was getting really bad. And then my appendix ruptured, and I had to go and get like some emergency surgery. It was I don't know, kind of scary. And then that honestly re-sparked my relationship with God. And I had started trading in January. This was in April, so around like 4 months of that, I was kind of just not making the best decisions, but I was also learning how to trade. It was actually in the hospital that I was recovering from my surgery. I passed my first ever funded account. So, bro, I passed my first funded in 4 months. Grayson, how long did it take you to pass your first funded?
For me to pass my first funded was like a week of just straight gambling, bro. I hit like 3K. 2 days. It took me 2 days to pass it, and it was literally New York session to Asia, so I passed it in basically 1 day, and bro, I was there, like, I was like, I'm up, like, bro, I'm gonna be a millionaire in 2 weeks, bro, like, and then, like, bro, I lost my fund at the first day I had it, So,
No, that's
everybody's been there, bro, everybody's been there.
But so in the hospital, I was honestly just like, bro, I would say that was like the most humbling moment I've ever felt, to be honest. I honestly felt like I had like the soul ripped out of me. I don't know how to explain like recovering from surgery, but like, bro, when you have a whole organ taken out of you, it honestly feels like there's like your soul got ripped out of you. That's like the best way I can describe it. So I'm just praying and praying and praying. And this is honestly when I really start rekindling my relationship with God. Because I had grown up in like kind of like a Christian family, but I honestly wasn't really like into it that hard. I mean, like I would go to church and stuff, but like, you know what I mean? I just wasn't taking it in like I should have. But this is when I really start going hard with God, and I start actually taking my walk serious, and I start praying to God. I'm like, hey, God, I really want to become a day trader. I really want to find success in this business avenue. I know that all of the people in my hometown are not good people for me. I know that these are not the people that I want to be surrounding myself with. And I just pray, God, that you would put somebody in front of my path who is a man of God who wants it just as bad as me, who wants to go to the gym, like basically everything that I'm looking for, eat healthy, all of it. And I really was just praying to become a content creator with day trading and to just find success in day trading. And for another good 4 months, man, I'm just praying and just not seeing results. But I just have that end of the tunnel, like kind of mindset, like, okay, it's eventually going to click, you know, like this is a part of the journey. It's not supposed to be easy. I don't have money for mentorship and I'm just working a 9 to 5. But during this time, I actually am just recovering. So I'm not getting any income in. And I did not have any money, just out of like complete honesty. I had like no money. So me buying accounts and blowing accounts back then was like way scarier than it is now, bro. Because when you don't have money and you're just like, you're just betting on yourself, to be honest. You're just betting on yourself. And for me to have the mindset of like, all right, this could be the fund. This could be the fund. Because I'm just trying to get that first payout. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to like literally feel the results of all the work that I'm putting in. And it honestly wasn't until I found the switch. So I find the switch and it is a 1 minute long trade. That's like the best way I could put it. It's just the same candle that happens every single day at the same time. And I had this dude kind of show me it and I kind of tweaked it my own way. Like I said, made a little algorithm for it. And literally since I like found that strategy, the very first time I tried a strategy, I honestly just went all in on that strat. Like I stopped trying to trade my own way and got a payout like 2 weeks of trying this. I'm like, holy cow, bro. Like, also that whole interaction of me meeting that dude, me quitting my job, me meeting Brock, these are all of my prayers being fulfilled in this moment. So this person that I was praying about that wanted it just as bad as me, it was Brock. Him offering me to quit my job was getting me out of my situation that I didn't want to be in any longer. And then me missing work, I was scheduled the next day to go to work. And I ended up going coincidentally. One of my friends texted me and he goes, hey, do you want to go drive 2.5 hours away to Phoenix? I have to go put some new tires on my car. And I was just like, yeah, let's go. Let's go run it to Phoenix. So I go with him. And coincidentally, we pull up to this little business club where I end up meeting this day trader who's a very successful day trader in the space. He's touched a lot of money. And I was just completely honest. I was like, bro, here's my situation. I got I had the 1,000 from Brock. I honestly had like $1,700 to my name. I just quit my job. I've been day trading for 8 months now. And like, I'm just trying to find some more sauce. And he kind of just gave me some sauce, started trying it, seeing a payout. I was like, oh my gosh, like this works, bro. Like I'm actually seeing success in trading. I just am consistent, kept hitting the switch every single day. I'm just trading at the same time. At first I was like, yo, Brock, because we're living in Oklahoma. And I had quit my job to film content. I was honestly just like filming content and using a camera and like taking videos and photos for this brand, the hydration brand that we were working with. But I'm also day trading every single time at this specific time every day. And I start trying to hit up Brock. I'm like, Brock, like I am making money, bro. Like you got to hit this up. And he's like, I don't want to be a day trader, bro. Like he's like literally just like, whatever. I'm like, all right. So I keep getting payouts. Like I get another payout in Oklahoma. And he's like, all right, bro, like you got to put me on. You got to put me on. So we start waking up together, and his first trade, bro, he makes $1,500, and he's like, "Holy cow! Like this is real." And I was like, "Nah, because you're on an eval, but like if you have a funded account like me, it's real, bro." And he's like, "Bro, like this is crazy." So literally that same week, everything happens where, I didn't even talk about we both got baptized too. Both got baptized. That strengthened our walk with God too. Just like all of my prayers coming to true. That was kind of what I was going with that.
Yeah, I will say, like, by far my biggest thing on my walk with God. So, like, I was like, honestly, like, I was going to church and everything when I first quit my job, like my entire like year and a half, and I was honestly like in my Bible a lot. Like, I was still, pretty good with the Lord. From the day I quit my job to when I met Jblair, but it wasn't on the level that it's at now. Like when I met him and he was like, bro, I'm getting baptized. And then I got baptized like a month later. There's a Bible verse now, as iron sharpens iron. That's how it feels. Like Jayla and I are just sharpening each other with, not just our relationship with God, but all areas of life. Yeah, I would say like that's one of the biggest things for like my walk with God is him, And bro, we're so real with each other too. Like if I'm slacking, I'm gonna hop on him. If I'm slacking, he's gonna hop on me and be like, yo, come on, bro. Why are you doing this? Why are you following this? You're doing that. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. I think like having a person that's actually gonna hold you accountable is so beneficial with your walk with Christ. And like, like when you just have that family around you and or just like a good community, whatever it may be, it's like a cheat code, bro. Seriously, it's a cheat code because sometimes I see things that he doesn't see and I could catch them before they happen. Sometimes he sees things before I don't see them and he could catch them before they happen.
And honestly, to get into that kind of the iron sharpens iron aspect of the community that we've built, honestly, because of the way that it's almost like a plague, but like a good plague. Like, bro, like these dudes that I have met in this community, bro, these guys are all like exactly how you said, Brock, like killers, bro, like in a good way. Like these dudes want it so bad, and these dudes are like just on the same path that everybody in the community is in, and it's growing at a pretty rapid pace because content, bro,
Yeah.
taking over for you pages, bro. That's what's gonna happen.
That's the thing, and I'm gonna say this right now. You're not gonna see really us grow on the gold mine, bro. It's gonna be people like this, bro.
Yeah.
This is their community. We're gonna put more of our focus is back in the Switch. For sure, the gold mine is gonna be our. It's always gonna be there. We're always gonna be repping the gold mine, but the gold mine, bro, is gonna be built from the killers itself. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's like the Switch is like that like really that inner circle of us, and then the gold mine. It's just
Still
that's a
like
whole beast.
still
So,
really inner circle. Like, so I think what we've done so well is just be very like niche with our community.
Mm.
yeah,
I think there's around 40 people on the Switch, and I would say half of them are actually people that like we didn't actually know at first, right? And then the gold mine, we are still keeping that niche too, and I think that's the best part of it, bro. Like everyone knows everyone in there. I think how many people do we have in the gold mine? But
I think so. Like from us, I think the exact number is like 109. We have some other
Yeah.
people in there that are, it's a different story for another night, but yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just where we're doing best is just getting so many like killers in there that everyone knows each other, and it's honestly just like a gatekeep community because if you let one rotten fruit in the patch, bro, it's gonna rot the rest, right? But you go in there, you're a killer, you got that mindset, you go in there and you're surrounded by people that are like-minded.
Yeah, and like, bro, we don't let anything slide. I booted someone out like 2 weeks
Dude,
ago,
I
bro.
was there, bro. I saw it.
Yeah, if you're negative, if you're like, bro, it's like what Jblair said, one rotten fruit rotting the entire thing, bro. We are so strict with our community, and it's like all the boys on the Switch. So it's all the boys on the Switch. They're inside of there. So I think there's like 55 people not counting, or 50 something people not counting the Switch boys. So like like the Switch boys, they're already really used to just like it. And the gold mine, I kind of see that as like the Switch boys, kind of like their mentors as well.
Yeah.
But nah, like the community itself is by far the number one thing, and it's like this is an actual community. I think that's what's beautiful. Everyone says they have a community. Oh yeah, I got a community. I got a community. It's just so negative. It's just everyone just talking shit to each other. It's everyone just talking trash. It's not like an actual brotherhood where you actually want to see people around you succeed. There's no jealousy. There's no envy in any of us, and it's just pure positive vibes. Even on the times when we lose, bro, it's like we're all like, all right, what's the lesson to be learned here? Like it's just it's the mindset of everyone. Everyone's mindsets, I think, is honestly the most appealing thing from my perspective about the community itself.
Yeah, and I mean, Brock's talking about iron sharpens iron. Well, in our community, in the Switch, we have like 40 people that are iron sharpen iron. Goldmine, we got even more. So you have so many people that are constantly just bettering themselves and uplifting others, bro, that everyone is succeeding and everyone is just so positive and taken care of.
To put it into perspective for you guys, these dudes have 20,000 followers combined, and the amount of people that are in the gold mine and the Switch, it doesn't even compare to the amount of people that have signed up. These guys have a link for signing up to basically be evaluated before they consider you for like eligible to join the community and be a part of this brand that they're building. It's a very selective process too.
And everyone that's like runs everything, like chooses those evaluations, are our boys on the Switch. I once heard a quote. I think it was my father that told me it. My dad said, it's better to build your team than it is to buy it. You look at just insane sports teams. The best sports teams like that, like truly kept her, like these teams that grew up, they like drafted young players and started molding that chemistry, molding that chemistry, molding that chemistry. And then after 2, 3, 4 years, they're just a juggernaut. Sure, the teams that go and buy all these, get all these good contracts, they don't really click, they don't really work, and they don't last long. The teams that they come up together, they last long. So everyone that's running these two brands are people that are on the Switch, bro. I think we got like how much people act, bro? It's low-key a lot. It's like probably 15 people are contributing.
Yeah,
say
yeah, I'd say yeah.
15
That's a good number.
contributing in some way, shape, or form to making this possible.
Yeah.
We didn't find them online. We didn't find them on some bullshit. These are people that grew within the Switch, took their skills, took their talents, took advantage of their resources, and now we're just creating two juggernauts. So yeah, like even with the evaluations, bro, for picking people for the Goldmine, it's people on the Switch that we trust, and like we got a whole team for that as well. So
yeah,
and just
to go off of that too, bro, we've had around like 3,000 signups for the Goldmine, and I think only around, like we said, like 50 people have gotten in. So we're very strict on who gets this because we know what we have and we want to keep it, still preserved. And just that spark, like once you let a bunch of just randoms, if we were to go and put 100 people in there right now, the entire spark of the community is gone, right? So we are willing to, turn down that money to keep our community so good because you have people like Grayson right here who love being in the community and talk so highly of it.
Can you guys speak on the origin of the Goldmine without giving away like sauce, like
Oh yeah, for sure. So I actually made this AI indicator for the Switch because there's this like little breakout candle, and I made this indicator to basically detect the strength of this candle before it comes out. And so I made this successfully after around 150 hours of work, and it worked very successfully. I saw a lot of progress with it, and it sparked a lot of ideas in my head, okay? Because for me to go and build my own AI, like kind of algorithm with trading was a very big step because I had never done anything like that. So it got my brain turning. And I had a friend who was also he got inspired off of that idea. And honestly, me making TikToks and content about me making that algorithm had a lot of people making their own, right? But we were like, okay, well, how can we make a kind of gold kind of like indicator, to be honest? And that was the original intention, was it to be gold. And coincidentally, the markets of gold kind of started acting a little insane right as we were finishing the ending of creating the software for the Goldmine. So the Goldmine is kind of this software that detects buy and sell movements in the market. And we have a team of like very experienced traders with us, including myself, that get these signals and notify the Discord of the Goldmine and make our own risk settings and TP and stop loss. But I mean, yeah, that's about it.
We got a whole team together that made that possible, and bro, it was just a combination of lots of skills and what Jblair said, and lots of stuff. And like, bro, like not gonna lie, like the coolest part is that we're still making it better. Like two of our boys, bro, that like. It's a long story, but two of our boys, bro,
it's really hard to talk about a lot of that on camera, to be honest with you, but just we are always constantly improving. I mean, like if you're not constantly improving the game, you're going to just get taken over. So me and Brock are always looking at what can we improve in the Switch, in the Goldmine, and just in our lives in general.
Dude, well, I'm stoked to be part of this community, bro. Like I mean, I've talked to you guys plenty about it, how like I'll hit these dudes up randomly, bro. Like last night I was texting Brock. It was like 3 a.m., bro. I was just like, dude, I'm so hyped for this, bro. Like, it's about to be crazy. I guess my last question for you guys is, honestly, where do you guys see yourselves 10 years from now?
And, bro, one thing I'll say first is I've always said that you can never plan your life if you're walking under God, right? Because there can just be so much that changed. In my walk, I was actually going to move to London and become a full-time day trader in London, and then I met Brock. So, like, things just happen that kind of change your life. But in 10 years, I would say I want to have a wife. I'd say probably in 10 years, I'm probably having my first kid around that age. So hopefully just like a happy family, Christ-centered relationship, enough money in the bank account where I never have to like worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to go to like 40 countries.
A very valid question, bro. I think like 10 years from now, it's kind of what Jblair said, you can never plan your walk with God, but on the broad picture, bro, I want to really just family, bro. Like a very good family, a very good woman that's a great representation of just, a good female and this generation. And then I want, lots of land, couple properties in different parts of the world. And low key, bro, like just providing. I want a lot of foundations. Like I want to be giving money in different areas, and I want to build with like as we want to.
Yeah, I was about to say build a church.
Yeah, our goal is to build a church this year. But I think within 10 years, maybe
Hopefully got
100
a couple,
churches.
yeah,
Maybe 100,
100%.
whatever. But like, I like just giving back, bro. Like giving back in multiple ways, and then like that's what I'm known for. I think 10 years, bro. To be honest, probably gonna be vanished. Probably not gonna be on social media that much. I'll always be a little bit on social media, but I think eventually I want to just completely fly off and disappear.
All right, boys. Well, honestly, thank you guys for hopping on this call real quick. Get a little meet and greet action going on. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Grayson.
Dude, well, there
This
you
is
have
awesome.
it. The two masterminds behind the switch in the Goldmine.
Sir.
That's crazy, bro. All right. Well, hold on. Let me just stop
All right,
recording real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.